This is the book of John 5, 1 to 15, but specifically where you have Jesus asking, do you want to be made well, is verse 6. John 5, verse 6. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already been in that condition a long time, he said to him, do you want to be made well? So I see sometimes leaders are not, they feel intimidated by questions. You're asking a typical leader a question and the person is feeling intimidated, or the person is feeling a bit off. You need to train yourself to receive questions and to also think through questions. Just like I tell leaders that work with me closely, sometimes you may need 1 hour to come back to respond to a question, except you're in an interview setting. When a question is asked, you could say, okay, could you give me 1 hour, Monday, 16? Of course, not forever. I will come back to you. Because in being able to think births things that you never even thought of, that can radically change your life and the lives of those that you have been called to serve, is in being taught to think that we have gotten the solutions that we have in today's world. So I read out that example as Jesus as our model to let you know, and there are many places in the Bible. For a person who is conversant with the gospel, you know this. If you are not, you're listening to this, you've never read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you should, and see how Jesus will have a question for everything. So sometimes when people say, you're always asking questions, I'm just wondering, I'm following the master. He's the master I'm following. He's always asking questions. I'm always asking you questions, and I'm always asking myself questions as well. Because when potential leaders in the making, growing leaders, say things like you're always asking questions or are intimidated by questions, it is worrisome to me personally. So my question is, are you not asking yourself questions? Don't you ask yourself questions? You don't ask yourself. You don't sit down to say, what am I going to do today? And I'm not talking about what will I eat today. No, it's not only the question of what's my purpose. No, but the question of these things that I'm putting for instance, you could look at the overview of your day. I serve in this organization, I work in this organization, I partner with this organization today. And everybody should have an introspection every day. Today, how did I give my best? What could I have done better? Have I strayed in my commitment here? What can I adjust? These are the kind of thinking patterns that makes us better women. So people don't even take stock for their life. The only thing they take stock of is the salt and pepper in their kitchen. What of your life? Are you not going to take stock of your life? Are you not going to take stock of how you are progressing or how you are not progressing? Or if you are being faithful, or if you are not being faithful? So, thinking, and this is really just the foundation. So many things I want to say, and we'll continue it as we continue in this series. Thinking is a life important skill. Is a life-changing skill. Is a life or life skill, is what I'm trying to say. It's a do or die affair. You have to start learning how to think. I've shared this with some people before. I didn't want to necessarily, if I had the choice, it's not like I necessarily wanted to step into the relationship space. And later on in my introspection, while I was thinking about why did I have some sort of resistance to stepping into the relationship space, relationship, marriage, family life, even though I have been called and carved for that industry, it's because I just thought that people were not getting it. Like, why will I come and be teaching you about relationship when the whole point is about yourself? It's about you. Many times people are just wanting to think, it's just when we'll not be in the relationship, but it's first about you. I think we were in a discussion one time. I was in a discussion with a person one time, and the person shared something that it still makes sense to today. If everybody as individuals decide to live in accordance with scriptures, we're not going to have problems in marriage or in relationship. All of these things that have now become a big industry. Problem solving, yes, it will become a big industry because it's solving a problem. But the key reason why this problem is in the first place is because people do not want to live or abide by the word. So the Lord has called me to step into that place, and I believe He has given me a different blueprint. I'm doing what I can, how I can, but I still let people know how God wants. I still let people know how it's boiled down. So it doesn't matter your current status. You must be very deep about taking responsibility for yourself. And so I share that to say the whole romantic, because I share that to say now, okay, let's just leave that. Today is not for relationship talk. But I said that to say that if we had thinking men and women, we would have better questions asked in relationships. And that's one of the things I want to begin to help people do now. Because all this, I went to his house one day, then we just started, or all these things, all these questions that come out. It could, like I said to some people that know me, if it happens to non-Christians, okay, but when it starts happening to Christians, then it's a challenge, because you are not maximizing the power of what the Lord has given you